Well, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Changing Lanes Intervention in Human Services YouTube channel. My name is Ashley Martin, and today we'll be covering the topic of positive and negative reinforcement. Just a little tidbit about myself. I am a board certified behavior analyst with over 7 years of experience in applied behavior analysis, working with children as well as adults with mental health issues ranging from autism, ODD, ADHD, dual diagnoses, comorbidity concerns when it comes to medical concerns and things of that nature. So today, like I said, we'll be talking about positive and negative reinforcement. All right, so I'm gonna share this screen. Go ahead and get started. All right, so like I said, we have the positive reinforcement. And so what that is basically you increase a behavior to occur in the future. All right, so I have an example here. For example, in a classroom setting, so for teachers. So you may have a student that answered correctly. And this student may be a student that really doesn't participate as often as they should, or as you would like them to, but you notice that today they actually answered correctly. So the teacher gives the verbal praise, such as like, good job, and thanks for participating as such. So in the future, the student starts to participate more. So that's what we consider as positive reinforcement. The positive aspect is you're giving something, right? And in this instance, it's the verbal praise that's given. So that's what that is, okay? And so we'll give another example, like in the home. So parent setting, you have your child throws away trash. So you notice that your child in particular, you tend to have to always tell them to throw their trash away after eating. But this day you notice that your child gets up and just start throwing their trash away. So you definitely want to immediately give that reinforcement, and your child recognizes that. So your child then starts to make sure that if mommy or daddy is going to give me that reinforcement, I'm gonna continue to throw my trash away. So it increases the chances of them throwing their trash away in the future. So as I said, she or he throws trash after eating, and you immediately recognize it and offer a verbal praise, such as, thank you, great job, as such. So, like I said, you can say a range of things. Just make it as natural as possible, but definitely recognize it immediately. So that immediate reinforcement is what's necessary, because at that moment, that child is able to connect the two. So you always want to make sure it's immediate. You don't delay it because they may just forget what you're talking about, and it affects it much sooner when you give that immediate. So in the future, continues to. All right. So in home or school. Okay. All right. So next we have the negative um, reinforcement. Now you do a negative with the minus sign. So you ask yourself, why is it negative? Is it negative because it's going to affect the child or student negatively, or am I doing something that's a punishment? No, it's two separate things. Punishment is not related necessarily to negative reinforcement. So the negative is actually something is taken away, and it reduces the chances or occurrences of a certain behavior in the future. So that's the difference. The negative reinforcement, it reduces it occurring in the future. So always think of it that if it's not occurring as often, or if it's not occurring in the future, then you that's a great thing for certain behaviors, but this definitely will be negative reinforcement. I'm just gonna make this a little bit bigger here. Sorry about that. Once I get going, I just keep working. So I have an example here. Once again, the classroom setting. So you have a student laughs at another student for answering correctly. Teacher or other student. Um, Stocks. Okay, so I'm going to break it down because I have a little bit more to write. So example here, we have a student that laughs at another student for answering incorrectly. And this happens, right? This is not something that is unusual. It definitely happens in school, but you definitely want to make sure you're reinforcing it in the right way to help reduce those occurrences. So the teacher gives all the other students a selection from the treasure box besides that student that laughed. So depending on the age range, right, those treasure boxes can be filled with stickers, candy, um, all sorts of things, hair ties, pencils, pens. And maybe if you don't have a treasure box, you can create something else that's more age appropriate, or it could be something visual, like a visual board, a behavior chart board that you may have in your classroom. Either case, you definitely want to recognize that. So in this situation, the teacher gives all the students a selection from the treasure box besides that student that laughed. So meaning that student is not given a reinforcement, right? So the student realizes this. So in the future, the student doesn't laugh at others. So in a sense, something is taken away because he's denied that access. But in the future, that's the key. He does not laugh at other peers for answering incorrectly. So that would be considered negative reinforcement. Once again, you shouldn't associate the word negative as something bad um, or a punishment in a sense. So another example we'll do in the home. So your child took food from you take away dessert. I'll break it down. The child, which is these are foreseeable mishaps, right? Takes away food from your sibling's plate. Maybe there's an uproar, someone's crying, someone's upset. In either case, that child started it as far as taking something that did not belong to him or her by taking some food from the plate. So you take away the dessert. You just no dessert. So with that being said, how it's reinforcing is in the future, uh, your child does not take food from others. So that's that part. So I'm just going to go back through to kind of give a recap, make sure you understand. The first example, we have the home and the school environment. We have a student that answered correctly, so the teacher gave praise. In the future, the student continues to participate. So that given it praise was that actual added piece that influenced for the future behavior. So we have a home setting, the child throws away the trash, which is the behavior. And so after eating, you immediately give that verbal praise, right? So in the future, the child continues to throw their trash away, okay? So this is positive reinforcement. So the negative reinforcement, something is taken away, right? It reduces chances of the occurrence of certain behavior in the future. So we have an example here. The student laughs at another student for answering incorrectly. The teacher gives all the other students a selection from the treasure box. All right. So in the future, it doesn't laugh, right? That future part. Put my fingers together here. All right, and then lastly, we have your child took food from the sibling's plate. You take away their dessert. In the future, your child does not take food from others' plate. Okay. You take away the dessert. All right, awesome. So I definitely hope that this information was helpful for you to understand a little bit more about how applied behavior analysis use positive and negative reinforcement. We definitely try to generalize our strategies and approaches across all settings, whether it's the community, home, school, hospitals, you name it. So we definitely try our best to normalize it. And thank you so much for tuning in to Changing Lanes Intervention Human Services. Once again, my name is Ashley Martin. Our address is 715 Peachtree Street, Northeast Suite 100 200, Unit 3895. That's located in Atlanta, Georgia, 30308. Our phone number here, as you can see, is 770-580-4116. And if you need to email us any questions or concerns or even about our services, feel free to at info@clihumanservices.com. And our website is www.clihumanservices.com. Once again, my name is Ashley Martin, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this video was helpful. Bye.